And of course, the U.S. men's national team plays tomorrow in a big game against South Korea. So we thought we would get a U.S. men's national team member in Matt Turner, coming back, and he's the all-time leader, one of the all-time leaders on Morning Footy appearances. Matt, how you doing?
Yeah, it's good to be here. It's good to be here. That's a new title. I like it.
One of the all-time appearance leaders is a great title for you.
Yeah.
Matt, it's really good to see you, man. The haircut looks fresh. You look good, bro. How are you feeling so far?
Yeah, it's been great. Great being back. Familiarity, good city, and obviously playing with the Revs again. Feeling the love from the fan base, but more than that, just finding some consistency, playing time, and getting the joy and the feeling of competing again has been really, really nice. So it started off really well, obviously with the win, a couple waivers, but yeah, just building on each performance and trying to show the staff at the national team that I'm going to be able to keep putting good performances together, and I can help the team.
So Matt, it's refreshing to see you. You're here repping the New England Revolution, repping Major League Soccer. It's refreshing to see you in that badge and repping the team that you had a lot of success with. Take us through, what were some of the emotions, what was the backstory to you making this move back to the league?
How long's the segment? No, I mean, really when, I'm on loan here, obviously, and you see the way that the national team is looking at MLS players. For me, I knew I could come here, I could start games, find some consistency and work with a really good goalkeeper coach and Kevin Hitchcock, who helped me find my form that allowed me to ultimately make my move to Arsenal. So getting back, working with him, he really knows how to push my buttons and push me forward. And then, the consistent playing time leading into the World Cup next summer is ultra important and something that I've been striving to try to find around Europe. And then when this opportunity arose, I think the stability of it, for my family as well, moving back here with my family, close to people that we can rely upon was also a nice draw for us, and the fact that it's alone, and I don't want to hang up my boots in my career in Europe just yet. So I'm here until the World Cup, put myself in the best position I can to, hopefully do well and then play in the World Cup. And if that happens, maybe I can give it another go overseas as well.
Matt, you're an intelligent guy. The Greek philosopher Herodotus said, one can never step in the same stream twice. You're back in New England 3 years later. You're a whole different person now, though. You got a kid. You've played in Europe. What is it like to be back in the place where you made your name?
It's been really emotional. Like, the beginning was super emotional. Seeing, my wife and I came to the Inter Miami game against the Revs, and, even driving up to that game, you saw a lot of you saw a lot of Turner 30 jerseys, and you saw a lot of Messi jerseys. So it was cool to see all that and feel the love from the fans. And obviously, Mr. Kraft, he's been somebody that supported me throughout my time in England as well. So to be back here, working with and for him has been really great. And it's just a special region, New England. The people, when you endear yourselves to them, it's a really great feeling, and showing them loyalty and showing that loyalty, they give it back to you tenfold. And I always wear my heart on my sleeve. So for me, coming back here, the people, the front office know that I want to compete, I want to win, and I'm always going to put, my best foot forward and wear my emotions outwardly.
Now, Mauricio Pochettino, and we've covered this for a while, he's been a big advocate for Major League Soccer. He's backed MLS players being in the national team squad. So how much of that played into your decision to come back to the league?
I wouldn't say that made the biggest impact. Of course, it made an impact. But for me, I was looking for the best situation for me and for my family. And I was always going to do what was best for them. It's like you referred to, Aaron, like, it's not just me anymore. I have a wife and 2 kids, and, my son is a patient at Boston Children's Hospital. So to be back in the region, close to his doctor is really, really nice. That was a huge draw. But, then turning around and obviously, having a conversation with the staff at the national team, explaining sort of the things that were on the table career-wise, and they didn't offer a ton of advice, because at the end of the day, I'm a big boy and I have to make my own decisions. And so, I wanted to get as much information as I could before I made the decision. And for me, this ticked the most boxes, and ticked the most important box of all, which is that I'm playing week in and week out.
Matt, you talked about this being a holistic decision, not just based on the national team. Have you had conversations with Poch about your future with the national team?
Yeah, of course. I'll leave that between him and I. But yeah, we've definitely had contact about, what the future will hold. And I'm excited for it.
Love that. Love that.
Yeah, Matt, you've gotten some unique experiences being at some of the biggest tournaments and lifting some of the biggest trophies. You were part of Crystal Palace's FA Cup win. So take us through, what was that experience like when the final whistle blew, the champagne was flowing, and everyone was celebrating?
Yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing. I think being over in America and watching the FA Cup, you don't realize how important that trophy actually is to the people of England. I think people generally care a little bit more about what happens, in the FA Cup than they do in the general Premier League season. Because you think about all the people in all of England, they have so many teams that they support. So the FA Cup's obviously a huge trophy. And people recognize you from it. They realize how big of a deal it is. And it was really cool to bask in that glory for a couple of weeks, and obviously doing it with another American. There's been so few of us that have had our hands on that trophy. One a long time ago, and then obviously Tim Howard. So just a really cool feeling to have been a part of that journey, etch my name into a history book somewhere. And yeah, super cool, and proud of that team for then going on and backing it up and winning the Community Shield.
All right, now Chris Richards has something to say about the best and worst dressers on the U.S. men's national team. I believe your name may have come up. Do you have anything to say about how Chris Richards feels about how you dress?
Listen, I don't want to go too far. We lived very close to each other. So we drove together to training very often. And some of the things I've seen him come out of the house in, I would never. So listen, I'll take the heat if I have to, but so-called fashionista over there needs to check himself.
I love it. Well, you talk about the U.S. men's national team, and you talk about fashion, but I want to talk about what's happening on the field. I think goalkeeping is the most difficult position in the game. We have Tony Meola, who did it and done it at the highest level. So looking at your performances as a whole, what are some things you're looking forward to adding to your game to get back into that number one position for the U.S. men's national team and continue to be the main guy for the New England Revolution?
Yeah, I'd say just, playing consistently will allow me to have the feeling of making saves in important moments. I think that's the thing I probably did the best for the national team and for the Revs in 21, 22, even 23. And obviously Copa America was what it was. So I've had a lot of really great performances, and, a lot of that is off the back of when I'm playing consistently. So just getting that feeling of playing week in, week out, recovering that emotional control in big moments. And for me, I know what I can provide is very, very good when I'm at my best. So I just want to be able to get back to that. And I feel like I'm on a very good path to doing that. And, it's a very, very much like a recency bias when you look at goalkeeping, because it's about like, what have you done for me lately? So obviously my body of work built me up a ton of credit. And, obviously a couple tough performances, obviously, losing in Nations League, and then a really tough time against Switzerland in a friendly. And now, the cracks show and the door opens a little bit. So now, I'm take a step to help myself, fill those cracks and flex my muscles a little bit now and show everyone that I'm still here and I'm still competing. And and I know I can be the guy that's the number one, on match day one in the World Cup.